You know, before I get into the meat of this video, there's a few things that I need to say up front that will, of course, serve as the intro to this masterpiece. Now, earlier this week, and yes, in case you're wondering, I am currently smoking a Camacho Triple Maduro, a cigar that I've told y'all is better than sex. But earlier this week, I received a message from this Afro-American Negro female. And she asked me, why do you constantly say that the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual that psychiatry uses to label mental disorders, why do you constantly say that they need to consider labeling being a black female as a mental disorder? And I sent out a tweet and I asked my followers, if they wanted me to answer that in the whole. And due to the overwhelming response that I received, it is incumbent upon me to produce a rabbit hole production whereby I sit this in y'all's lap. And the reason why I decided to do this is because that is my responsibility. I have no problem with telling you. As I told y'all in many of my videos, I can show you better than I can tell you. I have no problem leading you to the water. That's my job. That is incumbent upon me as an intellectual, a cultural critic. It is my job that when you are thirsty and in need of water, it is my job to lead you to a fresh stream flowing with water. But God damn it, at that point, you're going to have to reach down and drink that water for yourself. I can't drink it for you. I must show you where the water is, but you got to drink it once you get there. I told y'all I could sit it in y'all's lap. The irrefutable, undeniable, God himself cannot debunk or deconstruct what I'm going to show y'all in the rabbit hole production. It can't be denied. The only way that you gonna miss it because you want to miss it. Now, those individuals, there's nothing I can do with them. There's nothing I can do with them. The Negroes who just gonna deny it, no matter how clear you make it, listen, I have no time for them. Delete, block, delete, block, delete, block. But those who are inquisitive, who want to know, I'll lead you to the water. I'll sit it in your lap. It can't be refuted. It cannot be denied. And this is the reason why I have the attitude that I have when it comes down to black women or women in general, because I understand this. This is how I live my life. This ain't just something that I put in a YouTube video. This is the reason why you will not find me wasting my time going out trying to find that mythological unicorn, i.e. the good black woman. Or there's a good black woman out there. You just got to find her. I'm not looking. I'm not wasting no time. I do not waste my time looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I'm not trying to find no unicorn. I don't want to see it. And the reason why I have that mindset is because I understand what I'm going to show y'all in the hole. Like I said, listen, you know what it is, second nature like breathing. You want it, send me an email, I'll send you the link. And the reason why I'm going to do this video is because I have to. Now, the video dealing with the ghetto gagger piece, yes, I'm still going to do that video. Don't worry, that's going to come next week. I had to push it back one more week simply because I have to. This video here, I have to do. I am compelled to do this video that I'm going to do this weekend. I want y'all to get this. I want y'all to get this. And when you see it, the only thing you're going to be able to say is, God damn it, he's right again. You know what it is, second nature like breathing. Send me an email, I'll get you the link of this weekend's Rabbit Hole production. And of course, you've seen the title. And this is kind of, damn, this is a good cigar, man. I'm telling you, man, listen. They say it's a second wave coming in the winter. I don't know, but this is what they say. Listen, they got me the first wave. That first time when everything was shut down and everything, they got me. My humidors were not stocked the way I wanted them stocked. I was able to get through, but they still weren't stocked the way I wanted them stocked. But this time around, if there's a second wave and everything going to be shut down and everybody going to be quarantined at home, I'm guaranteeing you I'm going to have my humidor stocked of Camacho Triple Maduro. I'm telling you, they better than sex, man. Now let's get to the video. But I seen a video of O'Shea Duke Jackson. And it was kind of interesting that he did a video on Umar in Lenin honor. And he was answering the question as to why black women supported Lenin honor. Why black women supported Umar. And when I seen that video by O'Shea, I was already in the lab because I wanted to deal with this whole question. You seen the title of the video. And I'm gonna piggyback off of something he said, something he dealt with in his video dealing with why sisters support Umar. And I'm going to tie in Bill Clinton. But we're going to get to that later on in the video. But y'all know I've had these, if you follow me, I've had these unanswerable questions. Questions that I present to Negroes that they cannot answer. And y'all remember the first one dealt with Barack Hussein Obama. And I've asked Negroes this. I'm still waiting on the answer. I've asked preachers. I've asked pastors. I've asked choir members. I've asked ushers. I've asked, church janitors. I've asked them all, how do you, as a Bible-thumping Negro Christian who tells me that the Bible is the infallible written word of God, how do you, with that belief system, go out and vote for one Barack Hussein Obama, a political candidate and a political party whose political platform is diametrically opposed to the Bible and the concepts of the religion that you say you believe? How do you vote for him? Some 98%. How? Have not gotten an answer. It's the unanswerable question. Likewise, I've come back to these Negroes, these black men that you see wearing these Donald Trump MAGA hats, cheerleaders. I call them cheerleaders because that's what y'all look like. Y'all look weak. A lot of y'all look soft. And I've asked them, man, how do you justify wearing that hat? And when I look at Klan rallies, when I look at the alt-right, when they had that march in Charlottesville, they were wearing that same hat. And you black men act like y'all don't see that. And again, I got to give a sister credit. The only one who had enough stones to call that shit out was Triologic, a black woman. She called that out and went to bat over that issue, being a Donald Trump supporter at the time. And you black men act like y'all didn't see that. Y'all act like y'all just turned a blind eye to that. Unanswerable question, still waiting on an answer, can't get one. And the third unanswerable question deals with Umar Johnson and the black pastor. And I asked the Negroes, if y'all have such a problem with Umar, and listen, I'm not defending the dude, but I'm fair and balanced. If y'all have such an axe to grind with Umar Johnson and y'all saying Umar is exploiting single black women, he's manipulating black women, he's mistreating black women. If this is what y'all saying about Umar, then I can logically conclude that y'all have a problem with people who exploit black women. That's a logical assumption. And why can we logically assume that? It's because y'all are all over Umar. And the talking points are he's manipulating single black mothers. He's manipulating black women. He's getting black women to pay him. He's abusing them. He's psychologically damaging them. He's doing all of this and a whole lot of stuff that I'm just not going to even waste no time mentioning in the video. So we can logically conclude by those talking points, y'all have a problem with people who exploit black women. So now I got to come back and ask the question, wait a minute. Who, people? I mean, come on, y'all. Let's be real on this. Let's not even play with this. Who is it that exploits, manipulates, sexually abuses, psychologically abuses, spiritually abuses black women more than the black pastor? Who? Now, let's be fair, because when we deal with this, there's an irony. I've covered this in a lot of my videos, man. But this is the irony here, man. This is what the X-Files needs to investigate. This is the irony in this shit. Here you have a group of black women who criticize black men. Black men ain't this, black men ain't that. We heard all of the talking points. And the black preacher is the embodiment of all of the negative talking points that black women have against black men. The black preacher is the embodiment of those. Yet, even though the black pastor is the embodiment of all all of the negative talking points that we've heard on social media that these sisters say about black men, the black preacher is the living, breathing embodiment of those talking points, yet he is supported. He's supported by the same black women who are the creators of the talking points. Wait a minute. Wait. If y'all got such a problem with black men ain't this and black men ain't that. Black men do this and black men don't do that. And the preacher is the embodiment of those, yet he is financed and supported by black women. You know what it's like? I'm going to tell you what it's like. And I said this to black women, they don't like it. Because I told them, y'all finance y'all's own exploitation. Y'all finance it. Y'all pay for it. And the black woman gets mad. Well, how can you say we finance our own exploitation? I'll tell you, I'm glad you asked. They say that the Korean, y'all remember that brother, I believe it was last year, I done a video on it, when that brother went to that nail shop and he busted out the windows because he said that nail shop was disrespectful to black women and he wasn't having it. And he went in that nail shop and he's going to tear it up because God damn it, ain't nobody going to disrespect my black woman. And before the insurance even cut the check to have the windows replaced, somebody else went into that same nail shop the next day and filmed all of those black women sitting there lining up with boards up to the windows. Now this dude it was a misdemeanor, but he didn't got a conviction for breaking out the windows because they disrespect black women. But black women are the ones who's in there giving these Koreans their money. So that means that if these Koreans talk to y'all or talk to black women, disrespect black women, mistreat black women, but black women are in there paying their money to these guys, then that means she is financing her own exploitation. Doesn't it? So now if the black pastor, and we know the stories, we ain't got to even play with this, man. We know all of the horror stories about this black preacher, what he does in these churches, what he does to the women, how he runs through the women. Some of these preachers have gone through entire families. He done dealt with the grandmother, he dealt with the mother, now he's on to the daughter, now he got his eyes, he's looking at the son out of the corner of his eye. Went through entire families. We know this. So if the black preacher is manipulating and spiritually abusing black women, but black women are the reason why the church remains afloat based upon the money that they give to the church, it's because of the black woman. She's the only one there. Ain't nobody else there. There's a few men in the church, but I question them. They're suspect as far as I'm concerned. I know y'all don't like that, but tough. That's tough. Because ain't no man gonna sit around in a church knowing that, first of all, this is a jackleg Negro. I'm not sitting here listening to this dude. This dude is running through the women in the church. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to this guy preach. So if you sit there knowing that this guy is full of shit, that says more about you than it does him. So if the black pastor, not if, because the black pastor does exploit black women, but black women support him, then she is financing her own exploitation. And that is what prompted me to sit down and want to ask this question. Umar Johnson versus the black preacher, what, there is no difference. If y'all got such a problem with Umar Johnson, why is not that same anger directed towards this black pastor? And that's the reason why, if I could talk to Leonard Honor, I would tell him, no, I don't want you to do a part 2 documentary on Umar. I want you to expand that to this black preacher. I want you to expand that to this black pastor. Because all of the people who's making videos and piling on this dude, they're calling him a manipulator. They're calling him, he's pimping black women. They're calling him, he's deceiving black women. Hell, listen at what they're saying. That's what they say about the black pastor. There is essentially no difference between the two. The only difference between the black pastor and Umar Johnson is that one preaches from a pulpit. They're every bit as scandalous and shady. And this dude, this black preacher, I actually believe he's worse simply because he does his pimping, he does his skullduggery under the umbrella of religion. And he has these black women defending him. You better not say nothing about that black preacher. That's the reason why I know these hoteps, these pro-blacks, these back to Africans, these red, black, and greens, who's always talking about the black woman, and how can you say what you say about the black woman? You better not disrespect my black queen and all this other crap. But they don't say nothing to that black pastor. And I told y'all, you know why they're not going to call that black pastor out? To call out that black pastor is to call out their black woman. Why? Because the black pastor and the black female are connected at the hip. You can't confront the black pastor and all of his thievery and skullduggery that he does in the black community without calling out the one who finances them. And since the black female is the one who finances him, why, my God, if you're going to call him out, you got to call her out. And we already know them Negroes ain't about to mention that black woman. Come on, stop. That's the reason why I done a video years ago and called them the untouchables. Just like that Coon MC Hammer. You can't touch this. You can't touch that black preacher. The only time that they are allowed to mention this black preacher is when that black preacher, he does something so shady and scandalous, i.e. Bishop Eddie Long, everybody's talking about it, then he becomes fair game. Okay, you're allowed to address him now. But the everyday run-of-the-mill, bow-jangling, buck-dancing, step-and-fetch-it, cart-eating, chitlin'-frying, Negro pastor, liquor-drinking, weed-smoking black preacher, they're not going to confront that dude. But yet they want me to believe and they want us to believe that they have an axe to grind. And listen, I'm not defending Umar. Don't come and say, well, you defending Umar. No, I ain't defending Jack. Y'all know where I'm at with those Pan-Africanists. Hell, they're all full of shit. But let's be fair now, man. If we're gonna call it what it is, we have to be fair and balanced, people. In that video that O'Shea done, where he talked about why black women support Umar, and he did mention the preacher, and he mentioned how black women they really get turned on by these bad boys. And see, and I would go so far as to say, that's the reason why. Remember now, you got to understand the psychology of this Negro. Y'all remember why or when? And this is, again, a side note, this is the reason why I don't buy all of this Clinton bashing now. I ain't buying that. Y'all cannot sell me no Clinton bashing now. I don't want to hear that. I don't hear that. Because when Clinton was in office, y'all loved that dude. believe it was Maya Angelou who turned that dude the Negro's first black president. And y'all remember the Monica Lewinsky scandal and all that? We remember all that? Who was the largest group of supporters who supported Bill Clinton, even though his DNA was all over the woman's skirt, all over her blouse? We know it's your DNA. You did it. And he come out, he admitted, yeah, maybe I did. But who was it that supported him in spite of that? When the Republicans were trying to impeach him, well, they actually did impeach him, but they couldn't remove him from office. But who was it that supported him the most? It was y'all, Negroes. So now y'all want to make videos exposing Hillary, exposing Bill. I don't hear that crap now, man. That's a day later, the dollar short. Just like y'all videos on Barack Obama. I do not want to hear you Negroes criticizing Barack Hussein Obama now, when y'all voted for that dude 98% in his first election. His second term, a few of y'all woke up, y'all voted for him some 93%. But now all of a sudden, y'all want to run around now. Y'all got such a problem with Barack Hussein Obama. A day late, dollar short. It's the same with Umar. Listen, y'all can't have anger over Umar Johnson and his pimping and remain silent about the black pastor. And so I return with the original question that I asked at the beginning of the video. Who is it? Tell me who. Give me the receipts. Who is it that exploits, spiritually abuses, psychologically abuses, pimps, robs black women more in the black community than that black preacher? Who? Tell me who it is. I want to see the receipts. And I'm not talking about one incident. No, we're talking about a man since slavery. And we've covered this. I've covered this in many of my videos, man. When slaves they weren't allowed to gather. They had to have a white person in the midst. The white man got tired of sitting there, so he looked out and tried to find somebody who would report back to him what those slaves were thinking, what they were talking about, if there were any radicals. He went out and he found the black pastor. As the Honorable Malcolm X would say, he propped that Negro up with a top hat and a cane, and he became a Negro leader. And that black pastor has been snitching on black people, pimping black women ever since the slave plantation. Who pimps black women more than black pastors? Tell me who. I want the receipts. And that's the reason why my wish is for that brother, Lennon Honor, who did a masterful job in that first documentary. And I still hold to believe that Umar Johnson, if he's serious, he needs to answer each one of those charges that was made in that first documentary. He needs to rebut those, but he hasn't, and we know why, but be that as it may. But if he gonna do a second documentary, I would hope he would include this black pastor, the black preacher, because Umar's pimping and skullduggery and thievery of black women pales in comparison to this black pastor who's driving around in a Bentley, a Lamborghini, staying in a mansion, all off the backs of single and sometimes married married black women. They gonna take care of their pastor. But you know what? Let me stop, because I'm getting hyped. Let me back up. Let me leave that alone. Let me go and close the video. I didn't want to have this video this long. So look, I'm gonna answer that question. I'm gonna sit it in y'all's lap in this weekend's Rabbit Hole production. Irrefutable evidence. God himself cannot deconstruct this. He cannot debunk this. It is what it is. And it's my responsibility to tell you, I'm going to sit it in y'all's lap. If you miss this, you want to miss it. If you miss it, you want to miss it. That individual, there's nothing I can do with. I can't do nothing with the individual who just refuses to look at it for what it is. And once you have accepted this premise, you understand why I say what I say. Send me an email, I'll get you the link. Because at the end of the day,